Hello everybody and welcome back to another electrifying cast by yours truly, and as you can tell, I have just came back from my nap, so I'm actually very energetic at the moment. So I'm going to be casting this game because I just played this game and it was actually pretty funny. It was funny because this kid rage quitted. Well, I shouldn't say kid, this guy rage quitted after I beat him. And he actually got mad because he tried pausing the game and everything. And I don't know him. I don't know what's up with him and everything. So I'm not going to sit there and wait for hours on end for him to unpause the game. So I just kept unpausing it because I don't like waiting like that. So this guy's a Zerg player. His name is going to be David. He's going to be spawning as a blue Zerg here on Blistering Sands. I'm going to be spawning as the red Protoss at the bottom hand side, doing that 9 pylon, then sending that scouting drone out, which is our scouting probe, excuse me, and that's pretty standard. He's going to be going for a sort of economical build. I guess he's going for like a 14 pool or something. I'm not really sure. So this guy is a gold player though, so maybe I am in the I can't find the right word for it. Maybe I'm in for a promotion, for the lack of a better term, and whatnot, because I am sort of brain dead as I just woke up a little bit or like 30 minutes ago or something like that. So this game was pretty fun to play. He did get a bunch of Zerglings, and then he went into Mass Hydra. And to counter that, I got Zealots and Colossus. The Zealots were actually, they're not very good against Hydras because they're so slow, but if you get Charge Lots, that's much better. I just didn't get around to upgrading them into Charge Lots. I just used them because I had extra gas and all that, and they can tank the damage for the Colossus and everything. He's actually going for a very economical style build. He went for a 17 pull, so he's not getting that out very early. If I would have went for like a 2-gate rush, he would have lost pretty easily because of that economic style that he is going. And his pool is now finishing in 3 seconds or so. There you go. So it just finished. I'm throwing... This is a very bad wall in, by the way. I totally messed this up. This pylon should have been back here, and this should have been like right here. Perfect wall in then. So I messed that up, but it's okay. I still win. And that's great, because who doesn't like winning, you know? So here comes out his initial Zerglings. They're going to go around the map, scouting, scouting, scouting. There's a couple more Zerglings there, and he's just pumping them out at the moment. He's getting more Zerglings, 1 drone, and his queen. Pretty good there. His macro is slipping a bit. He should get either... He should really get an expansion at the moment or something, or pump out more stuff, like another queen and everything. So his macro did slip, as he has nothing on the production tab at the moment. And mine also slips a little bit, as you can see. At first Zealot out there, and luckily I did move back just a little bit, and he didn't control these Zerglings, so they're going to be going after my Zealot, but not running past into my drone line, which is good for me, because now there's only one guy here. So this sentry should be able to take care of that pretty easily. More Zerglings coming out for him, and he's now almost up to 1k, so he should really expand or do something with those minerals. And I'm kind of up, so I'm getting 2 more gates, and then pylon. He did scout me with this overlord, so he didn't see the other 2 gates, but he did see this pylon go down, which is good news for him, I suppose, because that's not a zealot or a sentry or something like that. Chrono boosting out my warp gates, which is also very standard and very good. If you don't have, for all those new players to Starcraft and to RTSs, you need, as a Protoss player, to get warp gates as fast as possible, unless you are going a Zealot 2-gate rush. And the Zealot 2-gate rush is basically, you can either make 2 gates here, here, right about here, and or proxy them over by their base, and you just make Zealots constantly, no gas, nothing like that, no assimilators. You just make 2 gates and then produce off of those. And when you have extra minerals, you make a cybernetics core and more gates and all that, and you can transfer out of it and all that. So that's good there. He's going to be trying to take down my back rocks, but like a smart player, I did put a pylon over here to spot that, warping in 2 stalkers here to just dwindle these down while they're attacking the rocks. And yeah, he's just getting more Zerglings. He's sort of spreading the creep. You got 1 creep tumor down here. he should be getting a bunch more Zerglings or an expansion like I've said so many times before, or another queen or something. So he's going to be going around this side now with his Zerglings, but I have a sentry and a zealot here, and now I do have warp gates. Getting out my observer, I chrono boosted that out. That was a bad force field there, but now I have 2 zealots in here, so it's going to help me out. Then a second force field going down, just to, I guess, help that sentry so he doesn't die. And now he's going to be trying to go in here again, but there's still a force field there. And he says, "You're cool." So I say thank you because I always like getting compliments like that. It makes me feel good. So still should be making a probe at some point here. You never want to stop making workers. You always want to be making workers until a certain point in the game. That certain point in the game would be very late game, like, I don't know. It's hard to tell when you should stop making it. At least for me, because I've never actually gotten into that late of a game. So those 2 zealots did die for no purpose. Bad micro and bad control by me, but these zealots are going to be far more lucky as they get a Zergling lunch. One of them does go down because he overate and exploded 2 little bits and pieces. So now I'm going to move across the map because he has nothing, because I do have my observer over here. Well, actually he does have a couple of Hydras, but I'm just going to push out across the map a little bit, get a Zelnaga watchtower or something good like that. And I should be getting, there goes the pylon, there goes my expansion. So as I am moving across the map and everything, every time you do that you want to get some pylons, or not pylons, and expansion. That's good. I am got my robotics bay. I am getting out my first Colossus. First Colossus is her. So that Colossus is the most awesomest awesome of awesome Colossuses because he is the first one in here. And a forge going down there because on this map I do like to do this. I wall off over here, but then when I get my expansion, because I am sort of a more defensive player, I tend to wall in here a little bit more. So that's just my personal preference. You don't have to do that at all. And he should be really spreading the creep because these Hydras are very slow on the ground, or off the creep, I mean. And I do have this Zelnaga watchtower, so I do see the Hydras moving out across the map. So I'm going to get my units into position here. 2 Stalkers over here. They're going to come around and flank these Hydras. So going to be doing some awesome damage here with this Colossus, as we'll see very soon. They just melt away those Hydras. Look at that, just 2-shotting them. But there are too many there for me to attack and take on directly, so I'm going to wait for my second Colossus and another Stalker here, like a good boy. And coming around the back yet again, and there you go. I'm going to micro this one back. Takes a lot of damage, but doesn't die, so it's all good. And this one shield deplete, but we're good, so there you go. These 2 Colossus live, but they are very low on HP, so I'm going to have to be careful there. And this is where he says 1 sec, be right back. And he tries to pause the game, and then I unpause it. And then he tries to pause it again, then I unpause it. And then he tries to pause it again, so I unpause it. And this is where the rage starts. So I'm not one to wait. If I'm in a custom game, sure, why not? That means I usually know who you are. And he says that. I'm not going to say that because that's very mean and hurtful, and you should never say that to people. I say no because I know what he's doing. People who do this are just kind of mean, and they just try to drown out or drag on the game. But like a smart player, I know that we have unlimited unpauses. And if I did know this guy or something, or we were in diamond or something, I might have. But this is like bronze and gold, so there's no problem about it. It's not like we're in a tournament or something. It's just low-level play, so no real big deal about it either way. And also, I don't know him, like I said, so I don't know if he's trying to trick me or not. And I'm gonna give him not the benefit of the doubt. There's good control by me. I'm going to delay these Hydras a little bit, using those Stalkers to soak up the damage, or the Zealots,